England, a small island nation with a giant story to tell. From ancient times to the modern day, England has been a land of change, power, and innovation. It has produced some of the world's most famous writers, scientists, and leaders. This is a journey through the ages, a look at how England became the nation it is today. We will explore the triumphs and the tragedies, the battles fought and the peace secured, the people and events that have shaped this remarkable island nation. Long before England existed, the island of Great Britain was home to ancient Celtic people known as Britons. These early inhabitants were a diverse group of tribes, each with their own customs and traditions. They were skilled in metalwork, creating intricate jewelry and weapons, and they lived in harmony with the natural world around them. They lived in scattered tribes, farming the land and worshipping their own gods. Their spiritual practices were deeply connected to nature, with sacred groves and stone circles playing a central role in their religious life. The Britons were also fierce warriors, often engaging in tribal conflicts and defending their territories from invaders. Then, in 43 AD, a new force arrived, the Roman Empire. The Romans, with their advanced military tactics and well-organized legions, sought to expand their empire and saw Britain as a valuable addition. The Romans, with their legions and their discipline, conquered much of southern Britain. They faced resistance from the Britons, but the superior Roman military strategy and technology eventually prevailed. They brought with them their language, their laws, and their way of life. Roman culture began to blend with that of the Britons, leading to a unique Romano-British society. The introduction of Roman law and governance brought a new level of organization and infrastructure to the island. For centuries, Roman Britain flourished. The Romans built impressive structures, including villas, baths, and temples, which became centers of social and economic life. They also introduced new agricultural techniques and crops, improving the productivity of the land. They built roads, towns, and impressive structures like Hadrian's Wall, a testament to their engineering prowess. This wall, stretching across the northern frontier, was designed to protect Roman Britain from the tribes to the north, and stands as a symbol of Roman determination and ingenuity. However, Roman rule was not to last. Over time, the Roman Empire began to weaken due to internal strife, economic troubles, and external pressures from barbarian invasions. As the Roman Empire itself weakened, their grip on Britain loosened. The once strong Roman legions were gradually withdrawn to defend other parts of the empire, leaving Britain increasingly vulnerable. By the 5th century AD, the Romans had withdrawn, leaving Britain vulnerable to new arrivals from across the sea. These new settlers, including the Anglo-Saxons and Jutes, would go on to shape the future of Britain, leading to the formation of new kingdoms and the eventual emergence of England as we know it today. As Roman power receded, new groups began to arrive on Britain's shores. The Angles, Saxons and Jutes, Germanic tribes from continental Europe. They came seeking land and opportunity. The Anglo-Saxons, as they became known, were warriors and farmers. They established kingdoms across England, pushing back the native Britons. This period saw the emergence of powerful Anglo-Saxon kingdoms like Wessex, Mercia, and Northumbria.
However, the Anglo-Saxons faced new threats. From Scandinavia came the Vikings, fierce raiders and skilled seafarers. The Vikings plundered and raided, establishing their own presence in parts of England. It was a time of conflict and change, but from this turmoil, a sense of English identity began to emerge.
The year 1066 is etched in English history. It is a year that marks a turning point, a moment when the course of the nation was irrevocably altered. It marks the Norman Conquest, a pivotal event that reshaped England's destiny. This conquest was not just a simple change of rulers, it was a transformation that affected every aspect of English life.
William the Conqueror, Duke of Normandy, claimed the English throne and invaded with a Norman army. His claim was based on a promise allegedly made by the previous king, Edward the Confessor, and a subsequent oath of fealty from Harold Godwinson, which Harold later broke. The Battle of Hastings, depicted famously in the Bayeux Tapestry, saw William's forces triumph over the English king, Harold Godwinson. This battle was a brutal and decisive conflict that ended with Harold's death and the collapse of English resistance.
William's victory had profound consequences. It was not just a military victory, but the beginning of a new era. He became King of England, establishing a new ruling class and introducing Norman French language and customs. This new elite brought with them their own culture, laws, and administrative systems, which began to replace the old Anglo-Saxon ways. The feudal system, with its hierarchy of lords and vassals, became entrenched. This system structured society in a way that centralized power and control under the king and his Norman barons. Castles, symbols of Norman power, sprang up across the land. These fortifications were not just military structures, but also administrative centers that helped to enforce Norman rule and order. The Norman conquest transformed England, laying the foundation for a new chapter in its history. It led to significant changes in the English language, architecture and governance, the effects of which are still evident today. The legacy of the Normans can be seen in the very fabric of modern England, from its legal system to its cultural heritage. The Tudor dynasty, which came to power in 1485 with Henry VII, marked a period of significant change. This era saw the end of the Wars of the Roses, a series of civil wars for control of the throne of England, which had left the country in turmoil. Henry VII's victory at the Battle of Bosworth Field established the Tudor dynasty and brought a sense of stability and order to the realm.
Henry VIII, perhaps the most famous Tudor monarch, broke with the Catholic Church in Rome, establishing the Church of England and making himself its head. This bold move was driven by his desire to annul his marriage to Catherine of Aragon, which the Pope refused to sanction. Henry's actions not only changed the religious landscape of England, but also set the stage for future conflicts and reforms.
This Reformation had a profound impact on English society, leading to religious upheaval and the dissolution of monasteries. Monastic lands were seized and sold off, redistributing wealth and altering the social fabric of the nation. The Reformation also paved the way for the rise of Protestantism in England, which would continue to shape the country's religious and political landscape for centuries.
Elizabeth I, Henry VIII's daughter, inherited the throne in 1558. Her accession marked the beginning of a new era, one that would be remembered as a golden age in English history. Elizabeth faced numerous challenges, including threats from abroad and religious divisions at home, but she navigated these with remarkable skill and determination. Her reign is considered a golden age. Under Elizabeth's rule, England experienced a cultural renaissance with the flourishing of literature, music, and the arts. The works of William Shakespeare and other playwrights of the time are still celebrated today for their profound impact on English literature and drama.
She was a shrewd ruler who oversaw a flourishing of English culture and power. Elizabeth's diplomatic acumen and political savvy helped to maintain stability and foster a sense of national identity and pride. Her ability to balance the interests of different factions within her court and her kingdom was key to her success.
This was the age of Shakespeare, of exploration, and of England's growing naval might, exemplified by the defeat of the Spanish Armada in 1588. The victory over the Spanish Armada not only secured England's independence from Spanish domination, but also marked the rise of England as a formidable naval power. This period saw the beginning of English exploration and colonisation, laying the foundations for the British Empire. The Elizabethan era was a time of national pride and expansion. The sense of adventure and discovery that characterised this period inspired many to seek new opportunities and horizons. The achievements of Elizabeth's reign left a lasting legacy, shaping the future of England and its place in the world.
The 17th century was a turbulent time in English history. Tensions between the monarchy and Parliament escalated into a bloody civil war. King Charles VII clashed with Parliament over matters of religion and governance. In 1642, England was plunged into conflict. The English Civil War pitted the royalists supporting the king against the parliamentarians led by Oliver Cromwell. The parliamentarians emerged victorious, Charles I was executed in 1649 and England became a republic under Cromwell's leadership. However, the monarchy was restored in 1660 with Charles II marking a return to stability after a period of upheaval.
The 18th century saw the dawn of the Industrial Revolution, and England became its epicenter.
New inventions powered by steam and coal transformed the way goods were produced. Factories sprung up and cities grew rapidly as people moved to find work. It was a time of both progress and hardship.
The Industrial Revolution brought about unprecedented wealth and technological advancement. However, it also led to social problems such as poverty, overcrowding, and pollution.
Despite the challenges, the Industrial Revolution propelled England into a new era of economic and global dominance. The Victorian era, named after Queen Victoria's long reign from 1837 to 1901, was a time of significant change. The British Empire reached its zenith, encompassing vast territories across the globe. Britain became a global superpower, its influence felt on every continent. This era saw continued industrial growth, social reform, and the rise of new ideologies. However, the Victorian era was also marked by social inequalities and the challenges of managing a vast empire. The seeds of change were sown, setting the stage for the 20th century and beyond. The 20th century was a time of immense change and upheaval for England. The country played a pivotal role in both world wars, demonstrating courage and resilience. The aftermath of World War II saw the decline of the British Empire and the rise of the welfare state. England experienced a cultural revolution in the latter half of the century, embracing new music, fashion, and social movements. The country grappled with economic challenges and its evolving identity in a rapidly changing world. Today, England stands as a modern, diverse nation shaped by its long and complex history. From its ancient roots to its global empire, from its industrial might to its cultural influence, England's story is one of resilience, innovation, and transformation. The legacy of its past is woven into the fabric of its present, a testament to the enduring spirit of this island nation.